Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuzakira Imana binti Zufazli. Kad metrik nombor 2020950925. Okay, today I will present my assignment group, which is application of Wadiah in Ban Islam in Malaysia. Okay. Okay, for our research objective, we have four. Okay, first, to clarify the concept of Wadiah. Second, impact of advantage Wadiah for society. Third, to identify whether in Ban Islam conflict with Sharia or not. And lastly, to know the application of Wadiah in Ban Islam in Malaysia. Okay. Definition of Wadiah. Okay, literally, to leave, quit, abandon. Technically, any belong left by the owner or his representative with somebody to take care of them. Al-Wadiah is a commission given by the depositor to the depositary for holding his property in safe custody, al-amanah, and done on the basis of charity. Okay, definition of Wadiah according to scholars. First, according to a number lecturer scholar in Hanafi school, authorizing a person to and others to take care of his property, whether in convey it openly, with orally, or indirectly. Okay, second, the scholar of the Shafi'i and Maliki school defined a Wadiah contract as a representation to keep something owned by a custodian or honorable object, especially owned by the custodian in a certain way. Next, terms of Wadiah contract. Okay, according to Hanafi scholars, two people who make a Wadiah contract are required to be rational and illegitimate custody made by ignorant little children and innocent people. Second, puberty is not required. Third, something entrusted is conditionally acceptable. Okay, next, type of Wadiah. Wadiah have two types. First, Wadiah yad amanah is the bank is not responsible in the event of loss and damage to the property stored during the matter is not due to the bank error, is preserving the property in question. Second, Wadiah yad damamah, the bank may utilize the saving property in respect of the depositor's concerns and to return the saving property in full at any time if the depositor so desires. Okay, next, the law of the Wadiah contract and how to keep the deposits have 5 conditions. First, the law of Wadiah contract is the obligation of the person in charge to maintain it for the sake of its owner. Second, two people staying something that they have together in one people. Third, one person put something on two people. Four, how to manage deposit. And lastly, some condition that make deposit must be guaranteed to replace. Okay, last but not least, a period of end of Wadiah agreement. First, deposit item are taken or returned to its owner. Second, the death of one of the Wadiah contracts. Third, one of parties to the contract is insane or unconscious. Last, transfer of ownership right to another person. Okay, thank you. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Ainaji Hamid Rasli. My number matric is 2020973631. I would like to presentation about impact of advantage Wadiah in Islamic financing banking. First, it guarantee economic stability. Economic stability is important for us and our country. In Wadiah system, the depositor, or we call Al-Muwaddi, which is owner of property, give and property to the bank, or we call Al-Wadi, for safekeeping. However, bank can use the cash money from property, the Al-Muwaddi, for business, but with grant Al-Muwaddi. For example, in investment, because it can stabilize our economy. In the same time, we can get a lack of risk on property from abuse fund and get some of benefit from that. And of course, the bank shall provide guarantee under agreement of Wadiah. Second, generate the harmony of society. In the transaction of Wadiah, there is a relationship between the Al-Muwaddi, which entrusting their property to the bank, meanwhile the bank keep the trust given. By this transaction, it happen of offer and acceptance, mean ijab and qabul. Through the contract relationship, it can generate the harmony of society with building a relationship with them. So it can bring a happiness and peaceful in our. Third, previous property from riba. Property is an important asset in human life. In the Wadiah concept, truly it based on Islam. As we know, in Islamic financing banking is the principle of law Islamic, but it different with conventional bank. The conventional banking more to profit and have riba. The riba is forbidden in Islam. It because injustice and the occurrence of operation and it is acute. Overall, Wadiah is the right choice, which is based on Islamic law and avoid from the element of doubt.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Nadirah binti Muhammad. My matric number is 2020984567. Okay, so I'm going to talk about identifying whether in Bank Islam comply with Sharia or not. So basically, as we all know, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad BIMB is one of the Islamic banking system in Malaysia. This means that everything that is carried out in the bank, whether it involves in financing or banking, is in compliance with Islamic guidelines and stay away from all the things that are forbidden by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Okay, the operation in the Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad BIMB system is based on the Quran and the Sunnah, which emphasizes on the concept of fairness and equity between human beings for the common good. Islamic banking system is sourced from the revelation of Allah and not from human creation. This has stated in the Al-Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 138, which means this is the natural way of Allah, and who is better than Allah in ordering a way, and we worship none but Him. There was a few examples of Sharia values that we can see in Bank Islam. First of all, they refrain from doing any activities that have elements of gambling, which we call it as a maise, goods and services that are not Sharia compliant. They also prohibits from any activities that based on the elements of usury. Second, they are being responsible for upholding the trust and tolerance in assisting its customer who face difficulties and hardships in line with Sharia requirements. And the third one is in terms of partnership, the transactions conducted by Bank Islam are in accordance with the equity and risk and profit sharing between the bank and its customer, which are clearly stated and detailed. So clearly we can say that Bank Islam comply to the Sharia because they refer to the Quran and the Sunnah. The next slide is about the evidence of legality about Wadiah. So as we already know, Wadiah is one of the concepts or instrument that exists in Islamic banking and financing. In the Al-Quran, Wadiah is not specifically stated. However, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been given to us some guidance and also indications about the concept of Wadiah that we can look in Al-Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Al-Quran in Surah Al-Mu'minun, which means, and they who are to their trust and their promise attentive, and they who carefully maintain their prayers, those are the inheritors. Based on this surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains to us that among those who will inherit paradise and be in it forever is a person who is responsible in carrying the trust and fulfill the promise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also stated to commend his servant in praying, fasting and giving zakat. The word trust in this surah explains that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasizes on his servants to fulfill all forms of trust or promise as best, and it can be associated with the concept of wadi'ah, which is a promise to keep in a contract between the party who owns a good and also the party who is responsible in the promise of keeping the goods, intended to ensure safety. The next point is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also stated in the Al-Quran that He does not like people who does not fulfill the trust and promises. In Surah Al-Anfal verse 58, which means, and if you, O Prophet, see signs of betrayal by a people, respond by openly terminating your treaty with them. Surely Allah does not like those who betray. Next, I will continue with the comparison between Bank Islam and conventional bank. So basically, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad is based on Sharia and Islamic guidelines. Second, they are prohibits from usury, gharar and gambling, which is my say. Third, no additional interest income when delayed payments. Fourth, profit sharing. And the last one is advisors consist of scholars, academics and Islamic banking experts. Meanwhile, in conventional bank, they are based on profitability and efficiency. Second, they are free to invest in all sectors including gambling. Third, additional interest income when delayed payments. Fourth, carry out investment to find maximum profit. And lastly, their advisors consist of conventional banking experts only. I think that's all from me. The next slide will be continued by my friend. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Aisyah binti Zulkifli. My matric number is 2020-9666085. Okay, I will explain to all of you about to know the application of Wadiah in Bank Islam in Malaysia. In the next slide, for your information, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, which known as BIMB, did not longer use Wadiah in their product. However, during a few years before, Bank Islam did have current account and saving account using Wadiah contract, which known as CASA. Then, starting 2018, this CASA contract using Wadiah changed into card. So, a Bank Islam offer good saving account for customer to save their money. Based on this card account, the facility provide a free safekeeping of your money and allow easy access for withdrawal whenever you need. At the same time, your money will be borrowed by bank for other purpose such as investment. In the next slide, we will talk about definition of Qard al-Hasan. Qard al-Hasan is mean all loan in Islam is interest free. Qard al-Hasan is the one which is without collateral. In Qard al-Hasan transactions, the borrower repay the principal amount of loan without interest marked up in the business for which the loan was used. In the simple meaning, for example, Hanina want to borrow money from me. So, me as the lender will give the money. But in the future, Hanina need to repay exact amount as me give to her before without having to pay extra charge, which known as interest.
Conclusion. In conclude, Bank Malaysia Berhad or Bank Islam. Conclusion. In conclude, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, or we call BIBM, is a bank with taking a deposit and financial or leader to the customer, either individual, commercial, and corporate. Usually, this bank use a Wadiah Domanah to cut contract. Generally, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad or BIBN is one of the trusted banks that use the method and concept of Wadiah. So that's all from us. Thank you.